Hey there friends, it's Carly. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new here. In today's video, I am talking about all things wedding. So if you're watching this video in real time, I am literally getting married right now, which is so exciting. So I want to share with you all of my planning, how I'm like trying to curate a beautiful, small, intimate wedding, both on a budget and in a small amount of time. So if that is something you're keen to see, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get into the video. So first things first, Dave proposed to me in December of 2022. If you want to hear all about the proposal and our relationship leading up to that, I do have another video, so go check that out. And then in January, we started really putting things into motion with the idea that we would get married in March. So we're in a small time frame here. And the reason why we decided on that is because we'd already booked a cruise at the end of March with kind of both of our families and decided, why wait and get married later on in the year, skipping winter, get married in the springtime, and then have to, you know, somehow afford another honeymoon or a holiday. It made sense to us that we would do it before a holiday that we've already got booked. So there is a honeymoon already done. One of the first things that we wanted to do was book in our celebrant and make sure that that date was good for her. So our celebrant that we chose was actually one of Dave's closest friends' mums. He's known her for quite a long period of time, so it just made sense to pick someone that we knew so that we would be comfortable with them. So once we had that booked, we could actually start getting in and planning things. So the next thing that I did was very small, and that was to purchase a piece of material to use as part of our decor. Okay, first official purchase for the wedding is this white, kind of very sheer fabric. I got 8 meters of it from Spotlight, and we're going to use it to kind of drape over the arbor that Dave's gonna build. It was meant to be $128. However, with Lily's VIP discount, I was able to get it for $76. Love that for me. Next up, we're still in January. I started hunting around online for a wedding dress. I wanted something simple with a bit of lace and some detail on it, and I managed to get one online. It wasn't very expensive. It was about $250, and that was made to order. So I got mum to bring her sewing tape measure up, and we did all of my measurements and put that in. I was a little bit nervous because it did say that it would take maybe 2 to 3 weeks to make, made to order, and then like maybe 3 weeks to post as well. So we were getting to like a month-and-a-half time frame for the dress to come in, which would take me into March when we were getting married, and I needed a little bit of time left over in case there were any alterations needed, which, surprise, there ended up being. I just got home from work and I'm very excited because I've arrived to a very special package, which is my wedding dress. I have been waiting for it to arrive for over a month. I'm hoping that things are going to be perfect. I will honestly be quite upset if it's not, but hopefully I can rally and get things, you know, fixed if necessary. Let's have a look. So we got the top with the half-lace sleeves, a low neck, and this moment in the front here. I love the sort of mid section that's a bit see-through, and then we've got long flowy elements. I'm actually going to wait until Dave goes to soccer training. He's heading out later, and I'm going to try it on, but my initial impression is that it looks really pretty. I'm just hoping that it fits well. So what you don't see after this clip is I actually started crying. Now granted, I was tired, I'd had a big day, I was already pretty stressed out. It's not that big of a deal, but the dress just didn't quite fit me right, and maybe it was also the fact that like I was looking tired, I didn't have a tan, etc. But I just felt kind of gross in it. Thankfully, a friend from work had some seamstress abilities and I was able to take it in the next day, and it was a very awkward encounter with multiple people like accidentally barging into the ladies' toilets and seeing us there with me in a wedding dress, but she was there sort of pinning and finding out ways that she could kind of alter it so that it would fit me a little bit better, and thankfully it looks so much better. The only thing that I need is some tape so that I can put here and just feel like a little bit more confined and like the shoulders of the dress aren't gonna fall off and expose myself to everyone. So still in January, I decided to make my own wedding invitations. I obviously use Canva for all of my YouTube and graphics and thumbnails, and so I decided to just get on there and see what sort of wedding invitation designs that they had, and I ended up just merging one of the templates with another. I just liked the font from one of them, so I ended up taking that over to the one that I liked the graphics for, and I was able to create them and get them printed and shipped to my door, which was very convenient. We got our wedding invitations in. I'm excited to open them up and have a look. Ooh, fancy little box, that's nice. So we ordered 25 with envelopes, and here they are. Aww. That. These are good. I like it. What do you think?
Very nice.
Yeah. Yay! Now we can start getting people's addresses and sending these out. How good! Right. One thing off the list. So I just made these myself on Canva, and I used one of the free templates, but then I also mixed and matched some of the fonts to get the font that I liked from a different template. And then I saw that they actually had a print option, and I thought that that would be great and convenient, because then I didn't need to ring around to other people to get them printed. So just bought them on the spot and got them sent to our door, and it only took like about a week or so, not very long, and they're here ready to go. A lot of Dave's friends and families live up around this area, so we were able to physically wander around and hand out their invitations. And then one afternoon while I was staying down the coast, I recruited my sister Shale, and we went on a little car trip journey and started going around to all my family and friends' houses and putting invites in their letterboxes. We decided to keep things fairly small, so I think from my side of the family I've only got 25 people coming, and Dave's is about the same. So for him it's literally just his immediate family and grandma, grandpas, and for me it's the same, but a couple of my aunties, uncles and cousins, because I just have a smaller family. I elected to only invite 2 friends, and because he's inviting less family, he invited a few more friends, but it still managed to keep the numbers down. I think with weddings, once you start sort of getting outside of the immediate zone, it becomes way too difficult to navigate. Well, if I invite that person, then I've got to invite this person, and before you know it, you've got a massive affair which is going to cost you a lot more money. Actually, not much happened in February wedding wise. We were kind of just waiting on things we'd ordered to come in, so our invites, my dress, etc. But March was sort of a big month in terms of things happening. So for a starter, I bought some big tubs from Aldi that we could put ice in and use for drinks. I also booked in 2 grazing tables from Jeris Bay Grazing. I very conveniently actually found them online. They friend requested me on Facebook, and I was like, this could be an option for our wedding food. We knew that we wanted something low key, like we didn't want to do catering. We're having our wedding at the beach and there's a beautiful reserve there with an undercover area. So we sort of wanted to keep it in that location. So having 2 large grazing tables just seemed like a very convenient and cost-effective way to feed people. So I was looking at a grazing table. I reached out to them and they said that for 1 table it would be $500. So I initially thought that that was like a bit pricey, but then I saw photos of the tables that they'd done for a recent wedding down in Budary, and they looked really beautiful, and I just figured, just for convenience purposes, like we were tossing up just whipping together grazing tables ourselves on the day, and I just thought to take the stress off myself and my mum and other members of my family, it's just worth the money to pay it. So I ended up ordering 2 tables at $1,000, and they come there, they set it up, they provide like all your cutlery, napkins, and then they do the pack up as well. And then that table includes fruit, meat, crackers, dips, cheeses, sandwiches, wraps, and baked goods as well. So kind of a variety of things. Also in March, I ordered our flowers from another Jeris Bay company. I just Googled Jeris Bay florist, and like this is one of the first ones that showed up. It is called Jeris Bay florist, and the thing that I liked about them was they had all the visuals of the bouquets online, so you could specifically choose the bouquet that you wanted. So I chose one with whites and greens, so it had things like white and off-white roses, stock, which is out of stock they told me, so it'll probably be some sort of snapdragon or some other flower that's similar, and then greenery and eucalypts. And they had 3 different sizes. I picked I think I got 1 large, 2 mediums, and a small. And I didn't say anything about a wedding. I just said that I was having a party, because I knew as soon as I said wedding that they were gonna tack an extra couple of $100 on it. Now granted, even just the price of what I got, for me, I think was super expensive. For those 4 bouquets, it ended up coming to almost $600. But I did book them in, and they are going to be delivered on the Friday afternoon before our wedding. So they should be right to go overnight and still look beautiful the next day. And I've got a couple of vases, so I'm going to set 2 of them up below our arbor, 1 medium, 1 up on a little side table that we're also going to have on the beach to do all our signing, and then the small one I will wrap some ribbon around the base of it and use as kind of my one to walk down the aisle. So I'm still doing a lot of things myself. Now, speaking of the ceremony decor, Dave sourced from his brother-in-law 2 big beams of wood. I think they were used in their house before they tore it down as like the bearers, I guess. And so they are beautiful old rustic wood. So he's going to use those 2 and another piece of wood that he ordered from Bunnings to create our arbor, and then we'll use the white material to wrap around it. We'll have our flowers at the base, so it'll be a beautiful little scene. And then I picked up a mat that Dave actually found online to go at the base of it to create sort of a boho vibe. Now, thankfully for me, and I'm truly blessed, my mum and dad actually offered to pay for the beverages. So we sat down and came up with a list of the different drinks that we thought we'd need, from non-alcoholic drinks to beers, and then non-beer alcoholic drinks. And then mum started buying those on sale from different locations. So that was kind of their wedding present to us. So we didn't need to worry at all about the drinks, and they're sort of sorting that out. So that takes one pressure off me of a thing that I need to organize. We also needed to get our rings. Now, My ring actually came as a set, a bridal set, so it came with the engagement ring and the wedding band. However, they were way too large for me. So in January, I took them into the jewelers to get them resized. Unfortunately, they weren't able to resize them because they needed to go down too many sizes. So they needed to order me in a completely different set, and it was going to take something like 6 to 8 weeks. So I was a little bit stressed. Not gonna lie, I had waited 7 years for this engagement ring, and parting with it for that long kind of had me. But anyway, I put that in, and then in February, Dave and I went into the same jewelers to pick out his wedding ring, and they did say that that would take, it was looking at 3 weeks, but it could have been up to 8 weeks, which would put it at that point after our wedding. So we were a little bit stressed also about that he might not have a wedding ring on the day, but thankfully it all worked out. It came in time and we were able to pick up his as well. The final thing to work out was our wedding photographer. Initially, I asked one of my friends who does take photos to please be our photographer, and while she did say yes initially, family commitments and just different obligations sort of made it not really reasonable for her to do, and she had to pull out. So I was stuck for a while without a photographer, and I knew that that could be the most expensive thing. So I was just going to recruit my sisters to take photos for me. I knew that that would put a lot of pressure on them on the day to, you know, be there early with me and get our pictures, because we are going to do a first look, and we're going to get all of our photos done before the wedding and also do personal vows before the wedding. So I initially thought I would get them to do it, but then Dave said that he might know someone. I'd reached out to them. It had taken a while for them to respond, so I was kind of stressing. But they did respond that they'd be happy to do it. And so we were meeting up with them at our wedding location, actually today, to talk about different shots, different places we want to get, and also finalize a price. Because we're having a low-key outdoor wedding, we're not going to be having a band or a formal music situation. Instead, I asked my other sister Lily if she could be in charge of just putting together a sort of fun, upbeat wedding type playlist. And so when we go back to our eating situation, we'll just have like a speaker there and just have sort of music kind of softly playing in the background. We have picked 2 songs for our reception that she'll also be in charge of playing. So I'm going to walk down the aisle to an Ed Sheeran song. I know Taylor Swift is my girl, but unfortunately Dave doesn't have the same feelings about Taylor as I do. However, we both love Ed, so that was something we could easily agree upon. And then while we are signing everything, I selected a Maddie and Tay song. So that's kind of the music situation. So all up, it looks like our wedding is going to cost around $3,000, and that includes food, decor, Dave's wedding ring, my wedding dress, flowers, and the celebrant fee. Obviously at this point, I don't know how much my photographer is going to cost. I will insert that somewhere on the screen once I discuss that with her today. But I think some of the things that have led to keeping this like a low budget wedding for me include tapping into local businesses and, you know, getting a good price from like a smaller business rather than going with something big, particularly with the grazing table. If we were to do some sort of formal dining situation and including like the drink situation, that could have cost a lot more money. But having a grazing table, I think, was a really cost-effective way to feed people, and it's also very aesthetic as well. Having an outdoor wedding and an outdoor reception, if you will, on like a public property. We're going to just a public beach and they've got a beautiful reserve there. I think was also a really good way to do things, because we're not having to pay that extra money to hire out any location. And then also obviously doing as many things as we can ourselves. So just being able to buy all the drinks ourselves, being able to buy all the decor ourselves, set up the arbor, like we're not having to actually hire any decor. So I think that that helped to really reduce the price as well. I was able to get Dave's ring on sale. It was originally like $500 and something, but I don't know what happened. That day I walked in, they were having a sale, and so I got it for like $200 off. So just being able to shop around for some bargains and not necessarily having to go with the big names of things and like let the guest list get out of control really helped me to just keep it low key and stress free. Well, kind of, sort of, less stress, let's just say. So that is my wedding planning and costing in a nutshell. If you do have any specific questions, make sure you leave those in the comments down below, and I will be sharing a video of our wedding day. I have charged one of my sisters with being in control of my vlogging camera during like the photography and photo session. So there will be a video coming, so make sure that you subscribe and stay tuned for that. The end of March, start of April is going to be a bit light on when it comes to videos. I did say in my previous video that unfortunately the 2 a week just isn't gonna happen for me this month with all the things that I've got going on, but I do still hope that you stick around and enjoy these 1 a week videos until we're back to our usually scheduled program. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and with that being said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.